So yeah, I got my Christmas present.
Nice.
Finally came in. So I like that. And I wasn't planning it, but when I put my hat on to walk out the door, I said, "Wow, I'm wearing the logos of two completely different space protection services, the United States Space Force and the Green Lantern Corps. So
That's right.
that's kind of cool, I guess.
It's like wearing a Mets hoodie and a Yankees hat.
Yeah, I suppose.
Although anybody who's actually doing that is probably going to get mobbed by both sides.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Those people take their sports ball serious.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. All forms of sports ball. So tell me what's up with this banana sandwich thing?
Oh yeah, got in the group.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Somebody put a picture of a banana in a hot dog bun with ketchup and mustard on it.
No, peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, it was peanut butter. Oh, all right, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they said, "Is it a sandwich?" Going back to our age-old debate of whether a hot dog is a sandwich, and I don't even remember who. Somebody who probably doesn't listen to the show reported it. So
somebody on that thread even said, like, "What does this have to do with Star Trek?" And immediately people were like, "You don't listen to the show."
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he misunderstood because he was like, "Lower Decks? No, I've never seen it."
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh, I
Whatever.
thought he
It's
was
fine.
trolling, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? Keep reporting them. I'll keep ignoring them.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Right on. So we actually have a topic today. I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, this is weird.
We do, yeah. So I had someone send me through Messenger a message over the weekend last weekend, and they said, "Hey, like it's a weird weekend. Like there's no Trekcast, not on Sunday, not on Monday, and like I feel kind of empty inside. Where'd you guys go?"
It bothers me that we're contributing to the collective mental health crisis going on in the United States. Jeez.
Or in Europe for this case. This guy's over in Europe.
Yeah, we're really dropping the ball. We dropped the ball.
Yeah.
We're just the worst.
Well, sometimes we need a break, man. Sometimes we just need a break.
Yeah, I know.
Every once in a while, yeah. And I think the other thing too, I told him, I said, well, we're going to be back this weekend, and it's going to be an all Trek show. No stocks, no whatever,
Oh no, stocks are talked about.
Okay, well, anyway, I mean, the main focus anyway is going to be Trekcast, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trekcast. I'm Chad. That's Dan. That's Daniel. This is the most unpredictable podcast in the universe, not just here on planet Earth. And we're going to come at you with a full load topic today that's all about Trek, as well as the news, your feedback, and more. So, okay.
All right.
Getting back to our stuff. 8 minutes in, there's the intro.
There's our intro.
Oh, and we can even do this, I mean, like
space.
We do have music, right? So
all this money, all these months talking about his new computer and what he's going to be able to do, and he forgets to use any of it.
And I don't do a damn thing with it. Yeah, it's like nobody can hear the difference either. And in fact, it's actually worse on my end because you guys are so damn quiet. It's driving me nuts. I'm going to have to figure that out after this show is over because it's like really irritating. Like I can hear you and I can hear you well enough, but it's like the energy level is taken down,
Welcome to NPR Trekcast.
Because you're not loud. Yeah. So, oh well.
All right. I'm going to finish this coffee and then I'm going to ramp it up for you.
There you go.
Bring the energy back up. Are you playing clips? Is that
what?
Were you playing clips through that whole thing we were talking? Because I heard something. Yeah. I faintly heard something.
Oh, I turned it way down. See, I can fade. I was fading it.
Okay.
I faded it down and let it go because it's like it's that 2018 opener that Daniel made. That's like 3 minutes and 42 seconds long.
Yeah, it's way too long.
I love it, but it's like really long. So when I use it, I just let it go, and then I crank it way down to like 10% while we're talking, and then it's just there in the background.
Okay. All right.
So
I could barely hear it, so I don't know how that's going to be when we listen to the recording. But
the way it's always been, where it's just in the background.
Okay.
It's just there. It's like if we were playing.
All right, fine, Chad. Fine. Let's do the podcast. Jeez.
haven't talked to you in 2 weeks, and you're already freaking annoying, man.
Yep. Yep.
Wait.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
We'll go to the
I have
news.
some feedback. I have some feedback here. Dear Trekcast, Chad's a dick.
All hands, it's time for Star Trek news.
All right, let's do the news then, I guess.
Yeah, I love how I'm doing feedback while you're introducing the news.
Well,
Yeah.
the news comes first. It's news, feedback, topic. That's the order of things, right?
I disrupted the order of things.
Did you forget?
What are you, Jim Hadar, Chad? This is the
Yeah.
order.
Obedience is life.
That's right. So our first story comes from TrekMovie.com, and the headline is "Production has begun on Star Trek Picard Season 2." So officially now, production has
Has it
begun.
though?
Yeah, it has. It has. They've confirmed.
All right.
So
Okay.
Did they say
Michelle
anything
Cool.
in that article about the supposed Rios spinoff?
Oh yeah, so that's a book.
The what?
That's a book. Okay.
That's a book. Yeah, it's they keep saying it's a Picard spinoff, but it's a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
That confused me. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, they're wording it as a spinoff for some
Please,
reason.
no.
I mean, I liked Rios, but I don't know if I liked him that much.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so they began shooting this week. Looks like they were in pre-production for a while, but ever since Grandpa got the COVID shot, we're good to go. So, do not have an idea as to when we can expect to see season 2. Still too early, but we know
Next
that
year.
Michelle Hurd is there for sure, and Legolas, the space elf, is there as well.
Yeah.
So, he is choosing to
Alright.
get a paycheck. So,
I'm okay with him. We could
Yeah,
do
me
without
too.
Michelle Hurd.
yeah. Hopefully they do something better with her character other than just be a junkie and hate her family.
I kind of want something like this though.
I'm sorry I'm late. I was watching the first Enterprise on the holodeck. You know, Archer and those guys. What a story. Those guys had a long road getting from there to here.
Nice.
I want more of that.
There you go.
I want season 2 of Lower Decks like today.
I think you know what's weird? I think I love Jonathan Frakes more now than I did in 1993, and I'm not sure why.
Yep.
He's very enduring.
Well, he's kind of become the grand poobah, the grandfather of all things Trek, because when he directs an episode, you can tell Jonathan Frakes directed the episode. It just feels more like Trek when Jonathan Frakes is doing it. And if he can do that with a show like Discovery, then man,
He should be the
and so
Kevin Feige of Star Trek.
say that
Yeah.
again.
He should be the Kevin Feige of Star Trek.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he should be the Alex. He should replace Alex Kurtzman. But
Mhm.
definitely, I mean, and so he's kind of grown. I'm the same way, Dan. So he's kind of grown in that role for me in terms of being. Not only that, he looks like my father. So I mean, like he's my dad. He's my Trek dad. So that's just it. That's what the whole thing is. Sorry. Moving on.
So you're saying this is your daddy?
Yes. Oh man, do I have that in here?
Yeah, where's that clip?
I don't think I do. I've got the other board going. So I mean, no, I don't
okay.
think I have that in there.
All right.
Damn it.
Well, I'll go to the next news story.
You had one job, Chad.
I have
Nice.
one job. Yeah.
Such
I mean,
a
I have the
big,
whole.
fancy
You are not
computer.
the father. What'd you say?
I said, "Oh, he's got his big fancy computer. I don't
know,
have the sound.
and
clip.
nothing
I don't
works.
have
Yeah,
sound
I know.
clip." Yeah.
And the audio's off, and it's like, son of a. I'll figure it
You're
out.
running a Mac too. All right. Next news story comes to us from sci-fi.com. Brent Spiner did an interview and talked about how there should be a next generation reboot. So in this interview, he's basically promoting his new book, but he talked a lot about playing Data and all the different versions of Data and Soong and how much fun he had with all that. But the most interesting thing, the thing that's really getting a lot of traction, is that he believes eventually they're going to reboot TNG and make those the movies. And he said that he was very excited to see a future version of Data with somebody else playing Data. He didn't give any, like, who he thought should play Data or any of the other roles. But you know, what do you guys think? That
Please
if
God,
we-
no.
What do you mean,
No.
please God, no? We did a 2-hour episode about doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's my thought on it. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're gonna reboot the entire Next Generation and you're gonna rewrite all of those stories
As the movies, though.
as movies,
Hmm.
then what do you do with everything that we're doing now? Right? Does it have? It can't be in the same timeline then, right? It has to be over in the Kelvin timeline.
Or you make
Yeah,
a,
you can do them in Kelvin timeline.
Exactly. Then I'm
Or
okay
you
with
make
that.
a what?
or you make another timeline on top of that.
See that?
Yeah.
This gets back to something I've said a lot in the last 3 or 4 months, and maybe since we did the TNG reboot versus now, my thinking has shifted. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to that episode to see, because maybe I'm saying the exact opposite thing now than I was then. But I maybe not. If we're gonna do those kinds, I don't even want to do those kinds of things. Actually, I'm not really here for a reboot anymore. I'm here for new stuff going forward. Give me a new Kirk and a new Picard that's not Kirk and that's not Picard. Give me a new captain that I care about. Give me like we did back when Voyager came out, right? So we had a new captain, Janeway. That was a whole new thing, a whole new character. Cisco, whole new thing, whole new character, different take on it. Pike is going to be that, right? So that's okay. It's in a different time period than what, constantly moving forward. That's okay. But I like what they did with Pike already, and I hope that they continue with that and don't, wussify the man. So
That could work. That could
Yeah.
work. However,
Mhm.
I just want to point out, excuse me. That's what the sequel Star Wars trilogy did, and it's a dumpster fire.
yeah,
Okay, and the fans weren't happy until The Mandalorian came out and is basically redoing some of that the way they should have done it in the first place.
right.
Giving us Luke Skywalker the way we wanted Luke Skywalker, not the way they decided to
go with it.
make him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it could be different for Star Trek because they've already done it. Picard was another captain. Cisco was another captain. And Janeway was another captain. So, I mean, they could go back and do that again. But I also don't see a problem with, they could do the Kelvin timeline. They could just recast them and keep it in the same timeline, but it's just different people playing them. It's the further adventures of the Enterprise E or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I figured out the audio problem just now, so there you go. I can hear you guys nice and loud. So anyway,
Nice.
So all that's fine. I'm just kind of coming from the standpoint of what I personally would want, and what I would want is the constant drumbeat of Trek since the original series has always been moving forward, right? It's a progressive idea, if you want to call it that. I don't really like that term, but whatever. The first interracial kiss on television, right? The first this, the first that. But it's always new stories that are going along with it. They're progressing the timeline. They're progressing whatever the story overall as a whole, right? And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see a rehashing of it. We can create a brand new Picard and Data and all of that stuff in a new series without calling him Picard on the Enterprise D and without calling him Data. We can do all of that with all new characters that we can grow to love over an 8, 9, 10-year season, which you would think that's what they're trying to do with Discovery, although they've kind of, Discovery to me is kind of like the 3 trilogy series that came out for Star Wars, right? When they went back and did the prequels. That's kind of what Discovery feels like to me. It's like, it's kind of there, it's kind of right, but not really. They've done some things that are new and shiny that shouldn't be new and shiny at that point, but maybe we realize afterwards that it's okay that they are, and maybe you grow to like it over time a little more than you did when it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go so far as to say Michael Burnham is Jar Jar Binks, but holy crap,
Well, I was going to say, Discovery is what you're asking for. It's a new captain, new crew, and the whole deal.
It is, but I still want the same, hopefully what they're going to do with Pike, right? That's what I was looking for with Discovery, is what it sounds like they're going to do with Pike. And if we go back and listen to some of our first episodes about what they were going to do with Discovery before it came out, well, I guess we started when it was already rolling, but whatever. I kind of wanted the same thing there, and they just didn't deliver.
I think what Brent Spiner without saying it, I think what he was getting at is that some of these characters are developing to the point that their status as a character is becoming timeless. In that, and what I mean by that is, how many people have played Dracula?
Right.
And when they announce a Dracula movie, nobody says that's not Dracula. Dracula is so and so. Okay.
It's Robert Pattinson.
And okay, but perfect example. Robert Pattinson is he's going to be Batman.
That's right.
And Batman has gotten to the point where he's like James Bond.
Yeah.
Where it's who's the next Batman? Not I hope they don't make another Batman. I hope they don't cast somebody as Batman. Okay. There's been 25 Batmans at this point, and there's going to be 25 more. And Superman's not far behind. And there's been 3 Spider-Mans in the last 18 years or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody's kind of come to terms with that because these characters have become so iconic that you're not going to stop telling the stories just because the actor who's known for that character has aged out of the part. So I kind of agree with him in that.
Well, and if anything, the box office has taught us that nostalgia sells. And if you were to reboot the TNG, people would pay to see it. Because guys our age grew up on TNG, not TOS. So we would be more apt to see. Yeah.
Yeah, make no mistake. I would definitely
make that Latinum, baby.
I would definitely go watch it. Make no mistake. I would definitely go watch it. Okay. So
Chad's like, it's a total mistake. But I pre-ordered my tickets.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why they'll do it. Because
some people just want to watch the world burn. Okay. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Some people want to watch the world burn them.
Hey,
oh God.
How many Jokers? How many Jokers are there now? It's the same thing.
That proves my point, though, right there. When you say how many Jokers have there been, how many Batman have there been, how many Spider-Mans have there been, how many Iron Mans, well, whatever. There is only one Iron Man, right? So that's the thing, right? With Iron Man, there's only one. There's Robert Downey Jr.
Right now.
There probably will be in the future at some point. But in my mind, with that character, with who played him, there shouldn't be. Right? There should be the next Iron Man who's not replaying the original Iron Man, Tony Stark. It should be some new person who's taking on the mantle of Iron Man. It shouldn't be a new person playing Picard again. It should be some new person taking on the mantle and picking up where Picard left off. I don't necessarily want Trek to become this, who's going to play the next Picard? Who's going to play the next Data? Who's going to play the next Worf? For the next 25 years. I want a continuation of the stories. I want a new set of characters that I come to grow and love the way that I did Picard and Data. Maybe that will never happen. Maybe it'll get close. Maybe there'll always be the original Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia trio with Chewbacca there as well. Do you want to see a new Star Wars movie with rebooting of all 4 of those characters? I don't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do, because I've seen the sequel trilogy, and I have no connection to those characters. They mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
If Disney put out a press release tomorrow that said we pulled the sequel trilogy off Disney Plus, and we've initiated Order 66, and all the DVDs and Blu-rays will disintegrate in the next 30 days. Okay.
Well, the problem with the sequel trilogy, too, is there was no clear guidance as to what they were going to do for all 3 movies. They're so jumbled together. No wonder you couldn't invest yourself into those characters.
Well, from a company that gave us the MCU, shame on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's the exact opposite of how they keep striking gold.
It wasn't that company at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't the same people at the helm at that time. And
what are you talking about?
No, when Star Wars, that was Lucasfilm all by themselves at that point. That wasn't Marvel and the MCU and everything else.
No, that was Disney.
No, it's because
I'm talking the sequel trilogy, not the prequel.
Oh, you mean Rise of Skywalker? I thought you meant the prequels.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's because Disney had the what they call the Star Wars Creative Committee, and that's what happened. Whereas Marvel has Kevin Feige. One guy, one vision. That's what it is.
What happened with
So
those
so
three
basically,
is
it's the
same
emperor.
thing.
It's
Go
the
ahead.
emperor versus the Galactic Senate.
Yes, and in
Exactly.
this case, it's okay to have
Emperor
a
gets
dictator.
shit done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dictator in this case is an okay way to go when you're looking at creative, because it's the same thing with those three movies, Rise of Skywalker and whatever the hell they are. The same thing happened with those three.
That's Chad's quote. You just need a benevolent dictator. That's all.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's it. Yeah, here I'm the capitalist pig of the group here, and I know. So, with that said, no, the same thing happened with those three movies is what happened in NASA prior to Space Force with the space shuttle. That thing was a boondoggle from the way they designed it, because they had a committee of 50 different people that had their voice into it, and that's why the space shuttle was created like this boondoggle of a thing that cost $500 billion or whatever it was every time they launched the damn thing. I mean,
Did you watch the?
They launched it.
Did you watch the Challenger documentary on Netflix?
No,
Oh man, I watched that. I watched that a couple weeks ago.
that probably makes
I lost all respect for NASA.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I really did. Yeah.
I got to see this thing.
Yeah, you do. It'd probably make me cry. I remember being in elementary school and watching that thing take off and then watch it blow up, and just teachers freaking out like, "Oh my God, they have to turn it off." It's like, oh geez. So
Well, should I get to the last news story?
yeah, sure.
Yes,
why not?
I
Go for
guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last news story comes from TrekMovie.com, and the headline is: Showrunner promises Star Trek Discovery will fit together with Calypso canon. So remember Calypso, the short
Yeah.
Trek? Yeah. Yeah, the one that doesn't fit right now, they say that eventually it will, even though the Discovery on there does not say Discovery A, whatever.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You can write your way back into that with whatever.
Okay, so over the next 200 years, someone's going to scrape the A off.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Well, and the AI is going to grow into ability, and Zora, the AI, will talk more and do more, whatever.
Well,
So,
I assume we'll see more of that just in the next season. I mean,
I imagine too.
it's already getting there, right? And just takes time.
Yeah.
Now that it's got to quote unquote rebuild itself
Right.
out of one bot.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There's Discovery. So that's all the news stories I had.
Nothing else in the last, because I'll be honest, in the last 2 weeks, I mean, things have been extremely, extremely busy for me. And so, I mean, in terms of just keeping up with Star Trek news and even posting on the Twitter feed and everything else, it's been very difficult for me to keep up with any news at all.
It's been pretty quiet. There's a lot of like, hey, Strange New Worlds is in production, Picard is in production, Prodigy is in production.
Archer's
Lower
coming
Deck.
back.
Yeah, Archer might be coming back.
What?
Yeah, there's an internet rumor going around that they're gonna make Star Trek Archer or some shit, or that he'll show up in Strange New Worlds. Whatever, man. It's coming from one of those clickbait sites.
It's a clickbait thing.
We got this covered.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So
Yeah.
how would that? He'd be like 150.
Exactly. It doesn't. He's not coming back.
Anyway, I can come back on a holodeck program. I mean, there was this.
Oh, and they're
I'm
pointing
sorry I'm
to
late. I was
like,
watching the first Enterprise on the holiday.
Right.
Archer and those guys. What a story. Those guys had a long road getting from there to here.
I mean, there's always that possibility, I suppose.
well, one of the
Jeez,
things
we're gonna.
they're
If you
pointing
play
at-
that again, we got to send Jonathan Frakes a nickel. You know
Yeah,
that.
no kidding. One of the things they're pointing to is like whatever that CSI show or NCI whatever show he's on right now.
yeah.
That's wrapping up, so he's gonna have all this free time.
That's
you know.
wrapping up because no one watches it anymore, and it's been on for 15 million years.
Exactly.
I mean,
And,
those CSI shows are just insane, and there's like 16 of them now.
Right. Well, how old is that dude? How old is Scott?
Scott Bakula?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll look it up on my fancy new computer.
There you go. Because I'm thinking he may just want to retire and enjoy life.
Yeah, like Richard Dean Anderson does, right?
Yeah.
He's born in 54, so he's not that old.
He's my dad's age. My dad was born in 54.
He's Dennis Riker's age, yeah.
So enjoy your retirement. You've made millions in TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Go
whatever.
put an earring in both lobes and
Yeah.
go down to the beach and sip on a
Go to
Mai
a
Tai or
Duran
something.
Duran concert when we can do that again.
yeah. So
Durant.
my lord. So,
Like you wouldn't want to see Duran Duran.
I would. I think that would be fun to see during.
That would be fun. What, you're not hungry like the wolf, Dan?
I'm getting ready to play some music.
I am
that make me flip
hungry
out.
like a wolf.
Yeah.
I am definitely hungry like a wolf.
Let's play some copyrighted music now and piss Daniel off.
Yeah.
Nah, don't do that.
I won't.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I won't.
All right. Should we get the feedback?
I guess that means we're ready for the next section of our show.
I have
feedback.
some feedback.
You got some
Nice.
feedback? Oh, cool. I got
Yeah.
feedback too. Let's see. Where the hell's
too.
the feedback button? Holy shit.
Hailing frequencies.
Open.
Never get the timing of that right. Just can't get the timing of that right. You know, it's just like whatever.
Okie dokie.
So okay.
Yeah, so I have feedback.
go for it. Go for the
Go
feedback.
for it. Yeah.
It's from me.
Oh, okay.
It's from me. It's addressing something that you two did
I can't
no.
wait.
Oh no.
that just blew me away.
Oh no. I don't know if this is
Fred-
good or bad.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. It's very good. Last week was my birthday,
Oh yeah.
and these two guys, for the listeners who may not know, these two guys took it upon themselves to contact Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters fame
Mhm.
through the Cameo service, and my birthday present from Chad and Daniel was a personalized message to me and my son from Winston Zeddemore himself, and I was just blown away, guys. And
That's
my
awesome.
son was blown away, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys you're really great friends. I feel lucky to have you guys in my life, and thank you. Thank you
you're
very
welcome,
much.
man.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
man. That was great. Yeah, it was fun
It
to
was.
do.
My
was
son's
glad it
little
happened
head
in time, yeah.
exploded. My son's little head exploded when.
I'm just glad he recognized him. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't look very different. I mean,
No,
he
he's
doesn't.
obviously older, but
Yeah.
I mean, it helps. He was wearing the jumpsuit. That said
yeah, that
Zeddemore on
helped.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But you guys sent me the link, and the title of the link was "Happy Birthday, Dan" or something like that.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is this? They sent me some video of Ernie Hudson, and my son was going to bed, so I was laying down in bed with him, and I got up and went in the other room to play it because I didn't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Could be not safe for work. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I went in the other room. And I played it, and the first words out of his mouth were Dan Lombardo. And I was like, oh my God, he's actually talking to me. And I watched it dumbfounded with my mouth open. And then I went and told my wife and played it for her. And then I said, I know we're trying to get him to sleep, but I got to go play this for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, when he called my son out by name, his little head just exploded. So
I bet.
That's
so
cool, man.
thank you guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you very
Of course.
much.
Of course.
Yeah, no problem, man. That was great. That's
Yeah.
great.
We were worried about it not coming in time.
Yeah. Well,
So-
And
even
in case
then,
in case any of the listeners don't know, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah.
In addition to Star Trek, so
Yep.
it was good.
I'll say this: if anyone wants to get a cameo for somebody else in the future, Cameo is not the best service. So, like, they sent me a link and they said, "Here it is," basically, right? But when you click the link, the video is not there at all. There's like a section where the video should be posted, like YouTube style. So I had to hit the download button, and that's where your video was. And then I had to post it onto YouTube on my own. So yeah, it's very clunky. So hopefully they fix
Okay.
that. But
Interesting.
yeah, so
They probably
Yeah.
just don't want to host all of those videos themselves
Probably
over
not.
time in
Yeah.
perpetuity, and that's why. So it's up to you to download it and save it and keep it for a set amount of, however you want to keep it, and then set amount of time passes, they get rid of it on their end.
but the problem is even when they give you that link, there's no indication that your video's there at all. Like I had to hunt and find it.
Yeah, that's not good. There should just be a gigantic green
Yeah.
download now button to kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that so if somebody does buy one, look for that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
know that now. So
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah, okay.
Cool.
I also
So I'm
have
glad
some
you enjoyed it,
feedback,
man.
but let's do Chad's feedback because I'm also going to do the bet after my feedback.
Oh, jeez.
That's right.
I had actually forgotten about that completely over the last 2 weeks
Oh, I didn't.
until you sent that text this morning, and I'm like, shit.
That's
So-
right.
Well, okay, and we'll get into that. We'll get into it when we talk about it. So, okay, so feedback-wise, we did have a coffee account donation 13 days ago from Mike Medina shortly after we wrapped on our last
Thanks, Mike.
episode.
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Mike.
Mike. He didn't put any comments in, so he just made a donation and off he went. And it makes me think, we've talked about this several times before, and I'll just put it out there again since we're all three talking right now. We need to turn on the reoccurring donations on
we do.
those folks who really do want to do that to make it easier for them. So for the guys that go in there, for those of you who don't know, on our coffee account, and we appreciate every single one of those donations wholeheartedly. It's been fantastic. So with that said, every time someone gives a donation, they have to physically go to that coffee account website. They have to physically type in whatever their debit card, whatever, each and every time for however much they want to donate. And they have to do that manually every single time. There is no way to subscribe. There is no way to just do an automatic monthly thing. At least it's not turned on. We can turn all that on and make life easier for those who do that on a regular basis. And I think we probably should at this point, because enough of those guys do donate on a monthly basis. So we should do that at some point here to make it easier for them. So anyway, with that said,
what do we have to do that? How?
I got to go into it and mess with it.
Yeah, there's just some settings on that Daniel can. If it's hard, Daniel, let me know, and maybe I can help.
I haven't even looked at it. I just got to do it.
Okay. So yeah, let me know if you want some help on that.
Okay. All right.
No emails. Nothing unchartable as far as where we chart. Actually, I did see one, I believe, and I might have accidentally deleted it in the email, but it was like Taiwan number 72 in Taiwan, something like that. But at any rate, so nothing else there. No voicemails. You can always give us a call, guys, 816-287-0448. That is a Gmail, voicemail, whatever you call it, Google Voice. Just go straight to voicemail for us to be able to play on the show. I won't answer that. I won't. So, and I only give that phone number out right here for the show, and it does have a voicemail in there. It's for Trekcast. That's all it's for.
Or when you need fencing.
Or when I need fencing from Home Depot, yeah.
Yeah.
816-287-0448. Call us anytime, leave a voicemail anytime. We will play it on the show. Okay, so there's that for my end of the feedback section. Daniel, what you got?
So I've got an email from Adam Parsons, and he says that he has been a day one listener of Trekcast since the original show and our show. And this is his first email since getting the chance to see Lower Decks, and he loved it.
Good.
Yeah. He did say, though, he has a suggestion for us. Also for a Trekcast episode, take a look back at Brian Fuller's original idea for Disco. If you don't see too much info, and if you have watched episodes 1 and 2 of Disco, it's a much different tone and style to even episode 3 of season 1 of Disco, which is very true.
Yeah,
Adam is from Nottingham, England, and he says he's not a merry man. So, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah, thanks for listening since 2008.
Yeah, man.
Long time.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm sorry I'm late. I was watching the first Enterprise on the holodeck. You know, Archer and those guys. What a story. Those guys had a long road getting from there to here.
From there to here.
That's right.
Now we owe him a nickel.
Yeah, now we do.
I mean, you have to do it 3 times, right? I mean,
It's the rule of threes. Yeah.
It's a rule of 3.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like Beetlejuice. If we say Riker 3 times in a row, he'll come on the show.
There you go. Wouldn't that be a blast?
Yeah.
That would be a blast.
Oh God, I would love. Yeah, we could end the show after having him on. Never.
Like that's
do another
it. That's a
episode.
finale. Yeah, we're never gonna top that. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Speaking of topping, so we have a little matter of a bet to get to.
Oh boy.
For those of you who remember, we Chad and I had a gentleman's sports bet over the Super Bowl.
And I lost.
Chad mistakenly bet against the great Tom Brady, the GOAT, and now has to watch a terrible movie of my choosing. Yeah. So I decided to pick a movie that is on Netflix, so it won't cost you any extra. You can just watch it on there. This movie is short. It's only 91 minutes long, so I didn't want to eat up too much of your time. It currently sits at 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's glorious.
Yeah.
It had a budget of $47 million, but only made $27 million at the box office. So complete flop. It's got the three best words in cinema, starring Melissa McCartney.
Melissa McCartney. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
baby. So
Who's Melissa McCartney? Oh, is that
Heavy one from SNL. Like, I don't know if she's ever on
Yeah,
SNL, but yeah.
Bridesmaids and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what you're watching.
Probably not.
No? Okay.
The movie has been made with the Jim Henson Company. Your movie is Happy Time Murders.
What?
Yeah, baby.
All right.
It is very much an R-rated film, not safe for children, and it is a noir-style murder mystery, starring puppets.
What the hell?
Well, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl, and now I got to see this movie.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
came out just a couple years ago, too.
Just based on that description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of intrigued. This is
Yeah.
not as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it was going to be worse earlier, but then I thought, let's have some fun with this. So,
Okay, so how do you want me to
Alright.
do that? Do you want me to watch it and then just record like an audio review? Because now that I've got this thing set up here, what I can do is watch it on Netflix in real time and record my thoughts as I'm watching it for everybody to kind of watch the show and listen to me saying. How do you want me to do that?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know about doing that because
I wouldn't watch it this weekend in preparation for this. I had to make sure it was good enough for Chad.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is, you watch it, come back on the next show, and we can talk about it.
Okay.
If Dan's gonna
Yeah,
watch it too, based on it, yeah.
I don't know how well a commentary track would work on a movie you've never seen before that you're
Yeah.
seeing for the first
that's
time.
True. That's true. Good point.
Yeah. So Happy Time Murders, everybody.
Huh.
You want to watch that trash? Enjoy it.
Happy Time Murders. Let me
Yeah,
send
I wrote it down.
myself a reminder.
Yep.
Yeah. It's only 90 minutes. It's not too bad, but definitely not safe for children. So,
Okay.
Huh.
I will watch it.
yeah. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
So you already put yourself through that hell.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I had to make sure it was good enough for my special boy.
I'm only hard on you when you make me hard.
Okay.
That's right.
Dan.
You must tell him that he's a special boy.
That's
And
right.
he's a good boy.
That's
Give me
right.
some cheese.
I'll feed him.
I feel like my special boy is going to be the name of this episode.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I look forward to that. That'll be good.
All right. We do the topic?
Let's do
Now that
the
we're
topic.
45 minutes in?
Yeah, now we're going to the topic.
Talking about Star Trek in this week's topic. Talking about the Star Trek in this week's topic. Huh.
And ladies and gentlemen, our topic for this week's show is a reboot of Voyager. All the things I just said 30 minutes ago, I take back.
I didn't want to point that out, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
I have earned the hashtag chat is wrong for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. All right. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go through who we would have play? The way we've done the reboots in the past is we'd kind of go through like minor characters up to the main character being the
Yep.
last one.
Yeah.
And at each character, we would have who would play him, why we would why we would have that person play them, and how we would change that character's overall role in the first,
And
pilot.
then we also start
season
like
or
our
whatever.
overall pitch one at a time. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Usually Dan takes 45 minutes, and then you and I
Oh,
take
no,
like
no,
5
no.
minutes.
Well,
No. I phoned it in this time.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we have Dan go first, and then we'll do
It was-
Chad and then I'll go last.
It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard for a couple different reasons. Voyager is not my favorite.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are things about it that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, well, I don't want to change that. I like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was hard. Plus, I'm getting old. In that, no. In that, what I mean is like, I watch shows and movies not as much as I used to.
Mhm.
And I don't know people's names. I don't give a shit anymore who plays that person. So it's like, we do these recast things, and it ends, it ends up sometimes that I'm sitting there Googling, uh, black male actor 30s, and it's like, and I feel like, I'm laying there in bed doing this, and I'm like, this must be what being a casting agent is like. I'm looking through headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, and then what always ends up happening when we do these things, it's like I pick a few people, and then I'm like, I'm not, without even realizing it, I'm like, I picked all these people because they're all on this show that I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
Whatever it's sitcom or whatever, whatever I'm
Yeah.
watching right now. So then I'm like, all right, well, I can't have everybody on my crew from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So let me take this guy out. Let me take this one out. And yeah. So
That's okay. That's okay.
But whatever, these shows are fun. They're fun to do, and
they
that's
are.
really all that. That's really all that matters.
I take it a little bit serious, but also not. Like, if I was gonna if I had to be like the casting director and do it in real life, that's kind of how I take it. But then I do it a little tongue in cheek as well. So I get my papers.
God. I stressed
together.
out so hard over Janeway, but
yeah,
I did for about 10 minutes, and then said, "Screw it, I know who I'm picking."
yeah.
So,
All right.
as I was trying to get to with my papers, I'm ready to go, and my formerly nicotine stained fingers.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez.
All right, Dan, go for it.
So my premise is it's mostly the same. It's the Starfleet vessel pursuing the Maquis vessel. The vessel gets lost. Voyager finds the Maquis, but they're on the other side of the galaxy. They're in the Delta Quadrant. Except Caretaker, I got rid of that. Got rid of the whole Caretaker arc, and basically the thing that flung them across the galaxy is they accidentally fell into a Borg transwarp conduit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what shot them over to the Delta Quadrant. Okay, the two ships hook up with each other. They engage the Borg a couple times. There's some cat and mouse, and basically what they discover is that the Borg has developed a new assimilation technology. I don't know what it is. The MacGuffin, the Borg MacGuffin, is they have this new technology that will allow them to assimilate entire planets with one projectile or something. So the rate of assimilation is just going to increase exponentially. And they realize that the only way they can stop that weapon from reaching the Alpha Quadrant is to destroy the transwarp network. And they have to do it from the inside. And one of the things is they don't even know when the network collapses while they're in it. They don't even know when they're going to end up. They're pointing themselves towards the Alpha Quadrant and hoping for the best. But in the end, the network collapses. They pop out into real space. And, for the first half of the first season, they don't even know where they are. They don't know if they're in the Delta Quadrant. They don't know if they're in the Beta Quadrant. They don't know. So that's my basic pitch for the show.
That's cool. I like that.
So do I start with who do I start with character wise, or do you guys
Whoever
do
you
your
want,
pitches and then?
No, do your characters. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I like that. I like that premise a lot, actually, Dan.
I do too. Yeah, it's
yeah,
really good.
I like that a lot.
All right, I guess we'll start with Neelix. Costanza. I chose Jason Alexander.
Oh, nice.
Just because I know he's a Trekkie.
Oh yeah.
I know he can do comedy. I know he can do that guy that gets on your nerves. And he would do it. He would probably do it. He's that big of a Trekkie, and he's really not working a whole lot right now. So yeah.
Okay.
So do I keep going? Am I doing the whole thing? Or
go
go ahead. Go through it all. Yeah. We'll just do everybody's all at once. There you go. That's fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Because then we can see how your characters and people you're picking fit into that plot you just laid out.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I can't wait for you to hear my Neelix, but I like yours. That's good.
Yeah.
Cass is she's not on the show.
Okay.
Without the caretaker, without the
wow.
Ocampa, it really doesn't matter at that point.
Mhm.
So, and I could figure out some sort of. I really don't know the reason that Neelix ends up on the ship. I guess he could be saved from assimilation at the last moment. You could probably do something where the ship he was on, the Talaxian ship he was on, was being assimilated at the time, and he was rescued by Starfleet. But he was, there's that whole storyline with him where he was a soldier, but he was also a coward or something, if I'm remembering it correctly. Yeah, they could do something like that, where like he left his post and, he was hiding in the closet or something when he was rescued. And because of that, he's constantly trying to make up for that and make amends for that. So, yeah, that's my story. He was rescued by Starfleet. He was rescued from the Borg.
Okay.
Let's see. 7 of 9. Yeah, her description I pretty much went over already, as far as the Borg replacing the caretaker. But because of that, she would be on there from the beginning.
Okay.
Basically, she was one of the drones when the Borg attacked Voyager. She was a drone that was left behind on the ship, and they deborged her in the end.
Okay.
I don't think she necessarily has to be a human from Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's too much of a coincidence, being that far away from Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So, she could just be unknown species. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
The Borg are that vast that nobody knows where she came from.
Yeah.
The Delaney sisters would be played by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Nice.
Well, wait, did you say who's playing 7?
Yeah, you didn't say who was playing 7 and 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dakota Fanning is going to play 7
Oh,
and 9.
okay.
Yep. We saw her last year in that movie, Please Stand By.
Yeah.
Where, she was playing a young, attractive girl with some serious mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what a unassimilated, de-assimilated Borg would be. It would be they would have some mental health, some deep mental health issues.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Ayala, he was played in the original show by an actor named Tarek Ergin, who has since left acting. But I would bring him back. I would bring back the same actor, because you know what? That guy was in 124 episodes of Star Trek Voyager, and he only had like 2 or 3 speaking parts.
Yeah.
Mm.
Half of which were off screen. He was speaking over the comm system. So, that guy deserves something.
Yeah.
So I would bring him back. Let's see. No Cass. We did Neelix. The Doctor. The EMH. I would have him. Let's see. All right, this is a double roll, because the EMH is on the ship, but also Dr. Zimmerman is on the ship.
Oh, okay.
Because at the time the EMH was brand new, so Dr. Zimmerman was actually on board the ship, supervising the installation of the EMH. This version of Dr. Zimmerman, he's also a medical doctor. He's not an engineer. He's also a medical doctor who developed this EMH program. But he's an on-paper doctor. He has no practical experience. He doesn't perform surgery. He doesn't see patients. He's he has the knowledge, but not the know-how. So,
Okay.
He's the only, and because of that, he's the only actual living medical officer on the ship. Because when the ship was attacked and all the medical personnel died, he wasn't in sickbay. He was down in the computer core doing something with the doctor's program. So that's why the computer core is heavily shielded. Whatever. There's a reason he survived and he was down there. So you have a doctor who's never performed surgery, who is suddenly the chief medical officer, just because he's the senior medical officer on the ship. So he's not even a member of the crew, but he becomes a member of the crew just by circumstance. So since the EMH can't leave the ship because there's no mobile emitter the first season, it's Dr. Zimmerman who goes on away missions. And he's terribly nervous the entire time because he doesn't know what he's doing. So whenever he goes on an away mission, he activates the EMH and leaves it running in sickbay. And he's got the earpiece. So he's got his program walking him through everything that he does when he's off the ship.
I could see a lot of comedy coming out of that.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. So Dr. Zimmerman is the medic and the EMH is the man in the chair. And they look exactly the same. So there's opportunity for comedy there on the ship. But also on the other hand, the EMH has zero bedside manner, does not know how to relate to people. So these two actually complement each other. So this doctor with no experience and his invention together, they're the perfect doctor. So they're a team. And then over time, when they somehow acquire the mobile emitter, and now the EMH can leave the ship and he can go on away missions, that's going to cause further drama because Zimmerman's going to feel like, well, they don't really need me anymore. Right. He can do everything that I can do.
Yeah.
So I dropped my phone. Stand by.
Who'd you say was playing the doctor?
I didn't.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. I'm writing these down just for fun.
All right, let me just see. Over time, they grow into a competent team and complement each other. Zimmerman becomes a better doctor, and the EMH becomes a better person. So they're slowly developing into two better entities. Yes. And I chose Jaleel White to play the doctor.
Jaleel White.
Oh, that's cool.
He played Steve Urkel back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's not someone you would expect. He is a competent actor. Yeah. I remember watching that show with my sister when we were kids, and there were episodes where he played his own cousin or something on there who wasn't a nerd. Yes. Yep. Or maybe that was his alter ego or whatever it was. Yeah. But he has range. He could do both of them. And I saw an interview with him recently, and the guy could use the work. He's been so typecasted by that role.
Well, he does a lot of voiceover work, too. He was Sonic the Hedgehog for a long time.
Yeah. But he also played Steve Urkel in a Scooby-Doo crossover. Yeah. So, I mean, he's still, he does voiceover work, but he still can't get away from that role.
Right.
So that's my doctor. Tom Paris, I kind of phoned it in. It's Nick Locarno. Mm-hmm. I don't care who plays him. It's just Nick Locarno.
I knew that was coming. Yeah. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I phoned it in for Kim, too, because I cast Garrett Wong. And he's still an ensign. He's Starfleet's first 50-year-old ensign.
Nice. World's oldest ensign. I like it.
There you go.
Yep. I did not cast anyone as Tuvix, but I think I would like the Tuvix story to be a season-long story arc.
Oh, that's cool.
This way, people can get used to having him around. And by people, I mean the listeners who can't grasp the concept of the fact that he was murdered. I want to give them 26 episodes to grow to love him as a character, to then feel the loss when he's slaughtered by Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
But I thought that you could, because in order to do something like that, you would have to give the other two the year off. And I thought that instead they could do a series of flashback sequences similar to Lost or Arrow or something like that, telling a short story from Neelix's past that ties into what's going on currently, or a short story from Tuvok's past that ties into what's going on currently, and you'd really get some backstory on those characters. So that's
cool.
my idea for that.
Okie
Okie dokie. Torres. I chose an actress by the name of Stephanie Beatriz. She is from Argentina. She plays Detective Rosa Diaz on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
And basically, she's grumpy and sexy, and that says B'Elanna Torres.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know what I would do to change the character. I don't know. So I'm going to move on to Tuvok.
Mm-hmm.
I chose Tyler James Williams, best known for playing Chris on Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh,
and
okay.
Noah on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He also had some supporting roles on Criminal Minds and Beyond Borders. And he looks like a young Tim Russ.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would do is, they made mention a couple times that there were other Vulcans on the ship, but I think we only saw Vorik.
Yeah,
I think was the only one.
Yeah.
Was the only one we saw. So I would make sure that there is an attractive Vulcan female on the ship that he could, and maybe they're the only two Vulcans on the ship, but they develop a friendship over time, and as it becomes more and more apparent that they're never going home, maybe he starts having thoughts about settling down with her, and the Ponfar clock is ticking, and it's just I'm trying to think of situations and opportunity for drama and good storytelling, and to maybe have him give up on contact with his wife and bed down with this other Vulcan, and then like the following morning Barclay makes contact with the ship.
Yeah.
And he's got a letter from home, and just we've established that Vulcans, they have emotions, they just don't project them. Shame and regret are pretty strong emotions.
Yeah.
So for him to break his marriage vows and then the next morning have a letter from his wife,
that's gonna rip him apart. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Oopsies.
We just won't tell her about that.
So who do I have left? I think I have Chakotay and Janeway, right?
That's it. Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, Chakotay, Captain / Commander Chakotay. I chose an actress by the name of Marissa Quinn. Let's see.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, I barely know who she is. She is best known for her role as Hewlin in the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. She is of Lycan, Apache, and Mexican-American descent. I've never seen any of her work. It was one of these situations where I'm trying to cast a female of Native American descent, and I'm just Googling Native American female actresses and going through, and it's like, unfortunately, I don't know any of their work.
Yeah.
But I got to this woman, and holy shit, is she stunning?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I needed for what I want to do with her character. So, hopefully she can act. But
if it's who I think it is, then yeah,
she's beautiful.
Yeah,
she's beautiful, and she needs to be a female for the sexual tension between her and Captain Kevin Janeway.
Kevin Janeway.
Yeah, I did the flippity flop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did the flippity flop. There was in in the first few seasons, there was a sexual tension between the two of them
Yeah, there
on
was.
the original show, and
Yeah.
they really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
And I would like to see that explored again. And in the interest of not just doing the same thing over again, you know, I thought I just thought I'd change the dynamic a little bit and make the captain a male, which, you know, if his first officer, who's 10 years younger than him, 12 years younger than him, and is stunningly beautiful, and is a criminal that he was sent to arrest, and he ends up beginning a relationship with her. I mean, that's just inappropriate with a capital I.
Yeah.
And that just makes for good television.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Who is Kevin
So-
Janeway? Kevin, what's his name? The from
It's Kevin James.
Kevin James.
It's Kevin
yeah,
James.
Kevin was
Yeah, that's
Janeway,
it.
Kevin
Yep.
James.
I chose an actor named Dean Winters. I don't know if you know Dean Winters. He
Sounds
played
familiar.
Ryan O'Reilly. Played Ryan O'Reilly on the HBO prison drama Oz. He had roles in Rescue Me, 30 Rock,
Oh,
Sex and the
yeah.
City, Law and Order
Okay.
Special Victims Unit,
Yeah.
and he also played Mayhem in the Allstate commercials.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's Captain Kevin Janeway.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and that's that's my show.
I like it.
I do. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. All right.
Yep.
Huh.
I think I wrote that one down too. I accidentally closed out of my
I've got
notes
mine
there.
all written out, Chad, so you don't have to write mine.
Okay, go for it then.
Okay. You want me to go for it? Sure.
Yeah, because I got to pull mine back up. I accidentally
Oh,
closed
okay.
out of it,
All
so I'm
right.
waiting for it to.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna do a TV show as well. Typically, I do movies, but I'm doing TV show, and I'm gonna do 4 seasons with 8 episodes each. Our first season is essentially Lost in Space, exploring the Delta Quadrant and the looming threat of the Borg. So that's season 1. How we got there, we don't know. Just something happened, and now we're there, and now we're stuck, and we don't know what happened. We're just there. Season 2 is we've engaged the Borg, and it's a whole season-long battle with the Borg. Different 2-parters and 3-parters just fighting the Borg. And at the end of that season is when we're going to gain 7 of 9. Season 3 is Lost in Time. Trying to use the Borg conduits, we actually time travel by accident and go through different timelines, trying to find our way back to our original timeline and to get back home. And then season 4 is the voyage home, how we finally get the crew back home. So I'll start with probably the weirdest, biggest change I'm going to do. I'm getting rid of Harry Kim completely. Yeah. No Harry Kim. Instead, I am going to replace that character with another character that we all know and love, and I'm going to give him a redemption arc. We're going to have Alexander Rozhenko on the ship.
Wow.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. How's he end up on the ship?
He was part of just some officer exchange programs, so he was there on Voyager just to learn new skills. Basically, the
Okay.
Klingons just wanted to put him off
Get rid of
because he's such a disaster. Yeah. And now Voyager, because the whole idea is Voyager is just a science vessel. It's a new crew, new ship. It's minimally armed, it's just for exploration.
Hey,
Right.
Is Harry serving on the Rotaran? Is he the exchange?
Probably.
He's just eating gawk and beating people up in the mess hall.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, something
Or
like
getting
that.
killed every other day and revived.
Yeah. Basically, so on Voyager, eventually Alexander will find his niche in life. He's not a warrior. He's not a technician, but it's going to end up. He's a very skilled diplomat, like his mom, and so he's going to be good at negotiations and trade deals. He's also going to end up becoming really good friends with Tom because they will bond over the fact that they're kind of seen as screw-ups and their dads are very successful.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives them that connection.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Next is our 7 of 9. I have cast. For Alexander, I have cast Zilo Miranda. He plays Miguel on Cobra Kai.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's my Alexander. So 7 of 9, I've got Anya Taylor-Joy. She was in The Queen's Gambit. She's the girl from that. She was also in The Witch.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I still need
she's
to watch that movie, The Queen's Gambit. I love chess, so I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. Anyway.
yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I hear good things. So
Yeah.
So 7 of 9, cold and logical, discovers her humanity and a wealth of knowledge about humanity while on Voyager. So that's cool. Tuvok, I've got Orlando Jones. And I'm going to say that he has worked side by side with Janeway for years and was her mentor in the Academy. So basically what I'm going to do eventually with Tuvok and Chakotay is they're both kind of her mentors, and they're going to be played as like the devil and the angel when she has to make a decision. But really it's more logic versus instinct. So, or at first you just think anything Chakotay says is the wrong idea. So that's how it's going to be played.
So he's Worf.
Yeah.
I think we should do this. Let's do the exact opposite.
Right.
Tuvok is going to be very logical, but the Doctor, I wanted to have some comedy, some humor with the Doctor, so I cast H. John Benjamin, who you know from the short Trek with the Tribbles. He's the guy who wanted to eat the Tribbles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the reason why he's the Doctor is I'm going to connect it to the short Trek that he is seen as such a great guy for ending famine on worlds by making the Tribbles edible. So, or, discovering that. So, because of that,
the voice of Archer. That's the guy who's the voice of Archer, right?
Right.
And on those Wendy's commercials as the chef. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, because of that, they made the EMH to look like historical figures, and so that's why it's him. So that's
great.
That's the connection.
That's awesome.
Next, we're gonna go with Kess. I cast Zendaya. You know her as MJ from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man. Yeah. So, one of the things I'm doing with the Okampa is that by nature they're very docile and they don't question things, and because they've been so taken care of by the caretaker that they're like grown children.
Yeah.
So she's going to have this natural instinct to want to expand her life and question things. And that's why she's attracted to Neelix at first. Because he's out there and he's wheeling and dealing. He's basically, I'm going to make Neelix a giant dork, but he's the coolest guy at the dork stable. You know? He's the coolest guy there. So for my Neelix, I thought, well, who could play a dork but still be kind of cool, but still a dork? Owen Wilson is my Neelix.
Oh man.
Nice.
To which I thought, wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
My Tom Paris, probably, well, no, B'Elanna's more obscure, but this guy's a very obscure actor himself. Chris Wood, he played Mon-El in Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know him.
It's of He-Man, so.
Yeah.
What's that about He-Man?
He's going to be the voice of He-Man. In the
in the new cartoon?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
cool.
He's never cared about anything except himself. He's a skilled pilot because he got into smuggling. So that's why he's so good at that. So in the Delta Quadrant, he'll be useful for Janeway because he can pull off trick maneuvers and all that. He's also really good at finding black markets and things like that. So
you mean he can hug the donkey?
Yeah, he can hug the donkey. So this one you may want to Google, Chad, for my B'Elanna Torres.
Okay,
I'm picking Jade Cargill, Cargill. She is a fitness model, and she is giant.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. She's like over 6 feet tall. She's a big lady. So she's my
B'Elanna Torres. She's got a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And this is playing Torres?
B'Elanna.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Wow.
very Klingon. Yeah.
Uh,
So
hard on you when you make me hard.
that's
Yeah.
an attractive, and also that would be scary. Like I'd be
Yeah.
afraid she'd break me.
Yeah, Tom Paris is gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
I'm gonna get out of that now, so I'm not looking at that anymore.
Yeah.
So my B'Elanna is the reason she's so good at engineering is because she was a bomb maker for the Marquis. So she had to learn about how to plant bombs, where to put them into systems. So that's what got her into that stuff. So and because of that, she knows all these tricks on how to bypass systems and all that, and that's why she's placed as chief engineer. My Chakotay is going to be the obvious pick to be running the ship. And the reason for that is he's a former Starfleet admiral. He's a war hero during the Dominion War. Everybody loves this guy. And so it was seen as a big betrayal when he went to the Maquis. But even despite all that, people love this guy. My Chakotay is Adam Beach. He's a Native American actor. You've probably seen him in the Wind Talkers movie. What is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. He was also in Suicide Squad, the original one. So whatever. So he is very much cut from the Battlestar Galactica Admiral Adama cloth, like that kind of tough as nails.
Yep.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy. So originally the whole crew is going to be like, well, shit, this is the guy who should be in charge. Like, if we're in an area that we don't know what's going on, he's our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's an interesting dynamic. Him being the admiral, and now he's going to serve as first officer on a single ship.
Yep. Yep.
And that's why eventually he has to become the first officer, because Janeway has no other choice but to put him in leadership.
Yeah.
Because else she's not going to have control of anything, you know?
Yeah.
Because the way I'm billing Janeway is this is her first captaincy, and so she's young, she's unsure of herself. She's going to be very much a scientist, where she's methodical and logical, but she's kind of like aloof from everybody at first, and she's unsure of herself because this is a situation no one else has ever been in, and so being so inexperienced and all that. And that's where you'll get the two mentors, Tuvok and Chakotay, when she goes to them to seek advice. And so for my Janeway, I have cast Candace Patton, Iris West from The Flash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like her. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good. I almost picked her for another spot, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, that you're right on that in terms of she could definitely play a young captain who's kind of in over her head.
Right.
Boy, those two as captain and
But she needs to
first
be
officer,
fit.
that would be tough. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good pick. That's a good dynamic.
Yeah. So that's my show.
Cool. No, that's good.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. I like that a lot. I did not hash out the first season or the pilot as much as
forgot my
either
Tuvix.
of you two. Yeah,
I
Tuvix.
forgot my
Yeah, go for. See, I didn't even get into Tuvix, but go for it.
So my Tuvix, of course, Tuvix is an upgrade. So my Tuvix, he's gonna have a short stay, but it's gonna be Idris Elbas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
everybody would love him, so it'd be even harder. Yeah. So.
Exactly.
So no, I didn't hash out the plot as much as either one of you guys did, really, honestly. But I just started it off as two things, right? So we've got the Maquis, but I kind of made a little change to the Maquis to where their Chakotay, who's leading the Maquis, has become not only just like a freedom fighter, but somewhat of a religious zealot. He's an older guy. All right,
Okay.
so I'm going to cast Chakotay as an older guy, and most of the people that are under his command in this section of the Maquis are young, highly influenced by him, somewhat brainwashed a little bit because he's kind of become this cult figure to where it's like almost like it's a separate thing from the Maquis. So the Maquis aren't quite the same as what we saw in the original Voyager. They're a little bit different from that standpoint. Maybe not necessarily a religious zealot, but more along that vein, cult leader kind of a figure. So that's how the Maquis starts out. And Janeway's older as well than what the original Janeway was. Anyway, so
Betty White.
Yeah, Betty White. Catherine Hepburn. Whatever.
Perfect.
I can't think of any names right now. So
Cher, isn't it?
Yeah, with all these, with all these other names coming out. Anyway, no, she's older, and she's got a young, inexperienced crew, and they're supposed to go out to the Badlands only for one reason and one reason only, to just capture him alive, Chakotay himself. Period. That's it. That's their only mission, and they've got a new ship, Voyager being new, a whole bunch of new armaments, a whole bunch of new weapons, specifically designed to be able to navigate in the Badlands. And she's been at this a long time. Like, she should be an admiral, but she's passed it up because she doesn't want to leave the chair. Right. Okay. So that's kind of the background of those two, the two main characters anyway, if you will. So I do have Tom Paris. I do have Harry Kim. I do have all that. But the reason when they go there to try to find Chakotay, something happens, don't know what, boom, they're all the way across the galaxy somewhere else, and they don't know where they are. And it's Voyager, two or three Maquis ships, doesn't matter how many, with Chakotay and Tuvok, who's undercover and all that stuff. And they don't know how they got there, and now they're fighting each other. And that's kind of where I left it, is in something happens where they have to come together, but it doesn't happen in the first episode. It happens throughout that whole first season, right? They kind of stick together because they don't know where they are, but they're constantly fighting. And it's two very strong characters at the helm. You've got Chakotay with the Maquis, and you've got Janeway over here with Starfleet, obviously. And there is just a constant clash, even though they're trying to figure out how to work together because they don't know where the hell they are. And you don't know where they are in the whole first season. That's as far as I got with that part of the plot. Now, who's playing who? I will say that there is a Kes and Neelix, because those are the first two characters they come across when they go to the Delta Quadrant. Kes is played by Natalia Dreyer, who's from Stranger Things. She plays Nancy on Stranger Things. I wanted Kes to be a very tiny person, and Natalia Dreyer is she needs a steak. Somebody call her agent, get her a steak. She's way too thin. She's cute. Yeah. She's way too thin.
Yep.
So with that said, that's who plays Kes, and her character is the same, kind of docile, doesn't really know, but she has a curiosity that most of her species, the Ocampa, do not have. Mm-hmm. And that's how she met Neelix at some point. Neelix, I have a love-hate relationship with Neelix, so I'm going to pick a character that nobody's going to like that I picked, but I picked it specifically because this guy, both personally and in some of the roles he's played outside of Harry Potter, is a little creepy. And I picked Daniel Radcliffe. So
he's tiny too.
He's also small, right? And so that would be kind of a little bit of a pairing between him and Kes, right? So, I picked Daniel Radcliffe for that.
He is a good actor, though.
He is good. He's just, I don't know. I think he'd be better with something over his face, so you don't. That's Harry Potter, So
yeah, I almost picked Haley Joel Osment because he's so weird looking.
Yeah. He looks like a. I don't know. I mean, his face stayed anyway. So good actor though. Good actor. So so that's why I picked Daniel Radcliffe as Neelix, because he's kind of creepy like Neelix. So, and they're young, right? And they're very young, and so that's where this pairing goes between the Starfleet and the Maquis, right? So like Harry Kim, I would have Ross Butler from 13 Reasons Why play Harry Kim. If you don't know who Ross Butler is, I think he might not even be 30 at this point, but he's an Asian American actor. I loved his role in 13 Reasons Why. He played the main football guy who was hurt and whatever. So anyway, so young, right? And so
he was also in Shazam.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was the adult, the adult version of the Asian kid. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh yeah. When they're all superheroes,
Yep.
So I like him. And then to go along with that, Tom Paris would be played by Colton Haynes, who was Red Arrow on the Arrow series.
Wait, who's Colton Haynes?
Colton Haynes. That's the love interest of what's her name that you
character is playing
on Red Arrow. Oh, he's playing Tom Paris.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And so again, young. Now Tom Paris in this and Harry Kim, they're both ensigns, right? Mm-hmm. They're both getting their start. Tom has got a bad past, whatever, but it's not Nick Locarno. I don't even do that story. I just have a Tom Paris who's just, people think there's something wrong. He's done some nefarious stuff, and it's different. I would not go into the whole Nick Locarno thing and do that all over again. Mm-hmm. So, but young, right? And so same thing with B'Elanna. B'Elanna is young. I'd have her being played by Naya Riviera from Glee. Very young actress, attractive actress. But also just too young for, but madly in love with Chakotay. So there's a problem there. But that's how I'd start that off. And then somehow you'd get 7 of 9 in there immediately as well, and that'd be Kathleen Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why. Again, young, attractive, different kind of role for her.
Who is that?
Catherine Langford. She was supposed to be Tony Stark's daughter as an adult or grown up in Iron Man. That never happened.
Who's she? I'm sorry,
7.
who's she playing?
7.
Oh, okay.
So, and then the Doctor, an EMH, would be Cheyenne Jackson, who's from American Horror Story. If you don't know who that is, just Google it. Another young, attractive actor. And then, of course, I'll just skip right into. I didn't go over Tuvix, did I? Nope, I didn't mention Tuvok. Tuvok is Emil Amon from Maze Runner in Sense8. If you haven't seen Sense8,
okay, yeah.
Maze Runner. So again, they're all young. Like the entire cast, that's the whole thing. There, the entire cast would be young, except for Chakotay, who's leading the Maquis, and Janeway, of course, who's leading Voyager. Chakotay would be played by Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Who can definitely play somebody who's good and somebody who's evil all at the same damn time. Lou Diamond Phillips. Sometimes when I watch him play a role, if he's playing a character that's just supposed to be a good person, like it's hard to watch because Lou Diamond Phillips can get this look on his face like it's just evil, even when he's trying to be nice, you know. Yep. And then the same thing when he's evil, it's kind of like, well, he's not a bad guy, you know. And so it's like it's kind of hard. So I think he could do this. I think he could do this little balance between what he wants the Maquis to become or do, and he's a little off his rocker. And that would be a good balance for who I have playing Janeway, which is Laura Linney. Everybody should know who Laura Linney is.
Yeah.
But,
no, who's that?
Her latest thing she's done is Ozark with Jason Bateman on Netflix. She was in. She wasn't in the. She's been in a lot of stuff. She wasn't in Jurassic Park. I'm thinking of the other one. Who looks like.
Yeah, I'm looking at her now.
Laura. Laura Linney's been in a lot of stuff. But I want that balance, that dynamic between, you know, the mom and pops running two different sides of this argument or two different sides of this stance, right? Running all the kids, you know, all the young ones. I want every other character on that show, everybody on that ship, Maquis or otherwise, to be young, with those two being the oldest. And there's where that dynamic comes in between the two of them. And you're right. One of the things that they dropped in season 1 was that original tension between the two, right?
She's beautiful.
Laura Linney,
She's 57 years old, but she
doesn't look it.
No.
Yep, she is. And I don't have like Lieutenant Alla or the Delaney sisters.
Yeah, I didn't either.
or Tuvok or that stuff.
That was just fluff. That was fluff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, the main thing for me is just having that dynamic of, you know, you've got the Starfleet way, someone who's been doing it for a very long time, and you've got someone who's never been in Starfleet before, but knows enough about it. He's been around a long enough time and has a different tact, you know, with the two of those coming to loggerheads and how they have to work together. So, and whether or not they make it home or not, doesn't really matter. I would say no. If it was me writing, I would just say no. They're just lost. They're just out there. It's lost in time. It's its own separate thing. And there you go. They never make it back, but that's me. So that would be who I'd pick for those spots, the dynamic for all of it. And there you go.
All right.
I like it.
That was cool. I like these shows. They're a lot of work, but
yeah, they can
I like
be
doing these. And you know what I find? Well, they are fun. And you know what I find? I find, and this is how brainstorming happens. This is how, you know, the writer's room works. But I wrote all of this stuff down, or typed it up, and some of this stuff that I actually said on the show is not on the page. This is stuff that I thought of as I was saying it. Oh, you know, this. How about this too, and this and that. And I imagine that's what it's like.
That's how it works.
Sitting around the writer's room.
Yeah, that's one of the most fascinating things about the documentary for What We Left Behind was watching those guys sit around in their writer's room with the whiteboard and just go there and just talk about it and go through it. I mean, to get paid as much money those guys get paid to sit there and do that, I mean, that's got to be a little slice of heaven.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That would be great.
For sure.
So we should take everything that we've typed up, put it all together into one document, and post that up on the website as like the first blog post of 2021.
Well, I thought you were going to say submit it to CBS and see if we can get a show.
That too, yeah. I kept saying I'm going to start putting up like regular blog posts, and I just never can get to it. So
Yeah, I'll send
we
you
should do-
my Voyager stuff. So
yeah. I'll send you a copy of what I typed up, and then Dan, you send a copy of what you got typed up. And
Sure.
Then so I'll take the time to put it all together. That's fine, but I think that'd be fun.
yeah,
So
very cool.
all right, what else do we have to go over here? That was
That was a long show already.
Yeah.
hour and a half. So,
WandaVision is getting good. So
oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we could talk about that for another 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
it's really kind of, it's funny though. It took me until this last episode on Friday night to realize just who the hell Rambo is. Like that, is that the same actress that was in Captain Marvel?
it's not the same little girl, but yeah.
No, not the. Oh, she's the little girl.
Yeah.
She's a little girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, see, I knew there was a connection there, but I couldn't figure out what. So, okay, gotcha. And so her mom was Captain Marvel's friend. Gotcha. So,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. It took me until this last show to really start to put those together, and you can tell I didn't really solidify it yet.
Yeah, no, she's a character from the comics who goes by, now she goes by the name Photon, but back in the late 80s, she was Captain Marvel. It was a different Captain Marvel. She wore a white and black uniform, very similar to the undergarment from her spacesuit that she was wearing last week. So,
and so she has powers.
She has them now. It's apparently going through the void, going through the barrier a couple times has altered her. Because when she got blasted by Wanda, when she landed on the ground, her landing was
superhero landing.
That was the superhero landing.
Yeah.
You know, one leg kneeling, one fist on the ground. So
3-point stand,
the 3-point stance, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was also, I don't know if you realized, there was a post-credit scene for the last episode.
Yeah, there was.
Yep. You got to watch because every once in a while they throw that in there. You never know.
Yeah, I didn't think they did those, and then I heard about it. Heard about it online. So
yeah, I had to go back and watch it. Yeah.
Is that the first episode they did that, or are there other?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've watched. I always watch all the way through just in case, and I'm glad because this time it was like, oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Great show.
So what do you think? Where are they going?
It's Agatha all along.
It's really I mean, that's what's
that
what's
song
nice
was
and,
great, man.
Yeah. It's what's nice and refreshing about this show. It's where the hell are they going? And you can speculate like out to 9 different ways all at once, and any one of them are plausible. And that's what's kind of nice about it and refreshing about it. It's such a very different, and they keep doing that that pan thing too. From one, something's going to change when they all of a sudden you've got the title bars up below and bottom, then they go away and then they come back and then they're different.
Yep.
It's like it's they do that very well. So I don't know. The whole thing is
well, the interesting to think about is this show's been in the can for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
but because of COVID, it took forever for them to release it. But I saw on YouTube yesterday, somebody put together a bunch of old interviews with Elizabeth Olsen when they were first plotting this show out. And so she was talking about it then. And one of the things she mentioned is you're going to find out why she's called the Scarlet Witch.
Huh.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and is Agnes Agnes isn't like that? Like that's not the actual form of the villain, right? That's just who she's pretending to be in the.
Well, in the comics, she's Agatha Harkness, who she says she is in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
who was sometimes she was good, sometimes she was bad. She was kind of her own thing.
Huh.
I picked up on something interesting. All right, so Vision tries to break out of the hex.
Mm-hmm.
Once he's completely out of it, he starts to fall apart. If you notice, initially he was okay because his cape was still in the hex, and then once he completely broke out and his cape fell to the ground, he started coming apart.
Yeah.
So hex stuff can't exist outside of the hex. Mm-hmm. However, when Rambo tried to drive her ice cream truck into the hex and it got halfway through and then spit back out, when it got spit back out, the half that was in stayed as a Chrysler minivan instead of the high-tech truck it was supposed to be. So the Hex changed it, but it stayed. Well, no, that's not something new because Rambo's clothes stayed the same
Yeah.
when she came out.
I think when it comes to inanimate objects or things that are alive, actually physically alive, they can change and come and go. I think when it comes to Vision, he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he is dead, and but he's half. I don't know. He's not really an organic object either, right? It's all synthetic, but because he was dead when that thing started, he can't really leave.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so because he's like part of a simulation essentially, right? And so it'd be like if I created a simulation of my next door neighbor, and then next door neighbor tried to leave, he would vanish. But if my next door neighbor is someone that I'm mind controlling to be my next door neighbor, they can walk out.
Yeah.
And then their memories are.
So he's like a holodeck character.
Yeah.
I guess
He's Moriarty.
A holodeck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have to go back and watch when he tried to break out of the Hex. Because when he's flying around in Westview, he's got the Mind Stone in his forehead, which was destroyed a year ago or a week ago, depending on how you want to look at it. So when he comes out of the Hex, did he still have that in his forehead?
He did, but it's not lit up.
Okay.
And remember in Infinity War, they say that he's part Jarvis, part Ultron, part it's not just the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might still exist without it.
Yeah. All right.
Which I think is what everybody was trying to do when they were trying to revive him, was to bring him back without having to have the Mind Stone in whatever lab they were doing that in when she went and took him. And we still don't understand what her motivation there was, other than maybe she thought they were torturing him and she just wanted to take him back. Who knows? I mean,
well, let me refresh my memory. Did she disappear in the snap? Or was she one of the people that's been around for the last 5 years?
I thought she'd been around. I didn't think she's
been around. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she disappeared. Okay. Rambo did, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, I think she was, I don't recall her having any interactions with Black Widow or Captain America.
No, she didn't. Yeah, she was gone. She was gone.
She just wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So from her point of view, Vision's been dead 4 days, and already they're ripping him apart.
Yeah.
That's why she went and busted him out.
Because
his body, from her point of view, his body's not even cold.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he says that in the show. He's like, this all happened to her just a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. What's his name? The FBI agent says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, Vision says it too in his little confessional video. He's like, "Oh, this all just happened to her just a few weeks ago." To him, it's like it happened to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that's kind of interesting that I saw pointed out in a YouTube video is if you go back and look at the Doctor Strange movie, when they're showing the wall of books, there's a book missing. And with Agatha Harkness, she's got that book.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange is going to tie into this.
Oh, for sure.
She's already confirmed to be in the Multiverse of Madness.
Does that come out in the fall, or is that?
I don't know when that comes out. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't even think they've started shooting it.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Well, then, yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Then we're a couple of years. The whole MCU, unfortunately, has gotten so screwed up.
Yeah. They just announced that Danny Elfman's going to do the music for it, and Sam Raimi's directing it. So.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, he did the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
And
The Evil Dead.
That's not.
That's great.
That's not a good thing.
Oh, he's off.
The release date. Oh man.
22 or 23.
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Release date March 25th, 2022.
Yeah.
That's over a year away, man.
Next year. Almost a year.
Come on.
Well, they better be
more than a year.
2022. That's next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying it's more than a year away. We're not in March yet. We're in February.
That's true. We got 9 days.
You're wrong, Chad. You're wrong. You're wrong. Wrong.
Oh, I know.
Wrong. Damn it.
Sparkle Batman is still over a year away. It sucks.
Ugh. COVID sucks. So Chad is wrong at gmail.com.
Yes.
Check out the webpage, trekcast.com. Check us out over in the Facebook group. Chad's not there. You're safe. Chad's
It's a safe space.
Chad's still got boo-boo tummy from some shit. I don't know. So
yeah, just like Australia,
he's
I
still
booted myself off of Facebook.
he's taking his Facebook hiatus.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
go see us over there. Send us an email. Thanks for watching the show.
We'll argue about fast food on there.
Sbarro's is garbage food. And yeah, I think that about covers everything.
Yeah, the map.
Oh my
map
god! I don't
guys
think I've
sent me.
ever had Sbarro's actually.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Sbarro's is it's a chain of pizza and Italian fast food. It's like highway rest stop style pizza chain. It's
They've got
it's
them in
gas
malls
station.
over here.
Yeah. They're in the malls. It's gas station pizza at gourmet pizza prices. And yeah, don't bother.
Yeah.
By the way, on that map,
that's why in that episode of The Office when Steve Carell goes to Manhattan, he's like, "Oh, when I love going to New York City and getting authentic New York City cuisine," and he's going into Sbarro's.
Nice.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
No, on that map, it's got for Missouri, it's got Chuck E. Cheese. Let me just be the first one to tell you that there's only like 3 in the entire state. So
I know.
Yeah.
For Idaho, it has Einstein's Bagels. There's 4 of them, and the closest one to me is 100 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should tell this to Chad because his head will probably get big. But did you know sliced bread was invented in Missouri?
Yeah.
In like 1928. Yeah.
Chillicothe.
Yeah.
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 Wow. He did know that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Chillicothe several times. I mean, it's one of the places I go to for work because it's
just for the bread.
No, there's a lot of manufacturing there, so you see the signs. Yeah. Yep.
Does it say "Welcome to Chillicothe, the best place in sliced bread" or something?
Yeah, something stupid like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I think that's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah,
That's the end.
that would be it. We are done. We're
We've officially gone longer than the movie you're gonna watch.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.